What's up with Doctor Strange, that third eye that he got now? Like, is that good or bad?
I feel like it could be either. I guess it depends on how he used that bitch.
That's fair. It looked freaky as fuck.
Because he looked corrupted.
So, I hope that's temporary.
Yeah, especially if that bitch pop up when you want it. It didn't look like it was a pleasant experience.
No, it didn't. He was in agony when that bitch popped
was on his way to get a coffee and a bagel. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Cinecism. I'm Eric.
This your boy Dante, man, and today we're going to be doing a review on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Man, there's been a lot of speculation about this one. A lot of shit was true.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I was kind of surprised about.
Bro, I feel like Marvel literally just been taking fans' advice lately, bro. That shit crazy.
It feels that way. I'm like, oh, they really did that. All right. Don't listen to us. Right. We don't know what we want.
Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. This story is basically about Doctor Strange meets this new character by the name of America Chavez, who has the ability to jump from universe to universe. Fortunately, she can't really control the power. Scarlit Witch now is kind of like a villain. Of course, if you've watched WandaVision, you see what happened at the end of her series. She is trying to cultivate this power of this young girl in order to jump to universes where her kids exist again, the kids that she conjured out of nothing to create. Scarlet Witch is trying to use her power, or trying to get this girl to use her power to be with her children. Unfortunately, by taking this girl's power, she's going to ultimately kill her. They kind of on the run, and they hopping like between different universes. It's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, but
the multiverse of madness.
Right.
Let's talk about Doctor Strange.
Let's talk about
Steven. He was one of the folks that disappeared for 5 years during the whole Thanos situation. He, along with like a bunch of other people, like not too long ago, just came back to existence. He's kind of like still coping with the fact that his former love interest, I forget her character name, but Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, right.
He's attending her wedding because I guess she's met somebody else and they fall in love. And he's kind of in a point in his life where he doesn't really have anybody. Like all he really does is like save the world. That shit cool and everything, but aside from Wong, like he ain't really got nobody like in his life.
It's been a while since that first Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah.
But it feels like we haven't been too far removed from Doctor Strange because of the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time since we've actually got to see Doctor Strange in his entirety. And I just forgot how cool, like I really enjoy Benedict Cumberbatch playing Doctor Strange and how he plays him as a character. He got this smooth persona, very like witty. Doctor Strange has been appearing in a lot of stuff. Of course, we just saw him in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But it's been a long time since we actually got to see him. And I was like, damn, he's such a like tragic character when you think about it. And this, I never really thought about that because of course we haven't been focusing on him.
Yeah.
But like you said, like, you know, unlucky in love, and especially now with everything after the blip, he don't really have a lot of people, you know, in his life aside from Wong, really, which is probably it. But it, like you said, I think being a superhero has become his primary thing. But you really see at when he go to Christine's wedding that it's like,
Christine,
yeah, you really get to see that he feels like something's missing. He missed out on some stuff. You know what I will say? Doctor Strange is like in full support of the kids, and God bless him. Every time you see him, he's supporting one of these young heroes. It was so dope to watch him kind of, you know, take old girl under his wing, and he always with some little brat that be acting bratty, but end up loving them in the end. And I thought them two together, because they pretty much together this entire movie. I thought them two together was real cool. She was great, by the way. The young lady that played America Chavez, I really liked her character too. Doctor Strange is one of the coolest characters in the MCU in terms of what he can do. How they use computer graphics to like display his abilities. Those scenes where they're using their powers, I was like, damn, he could do that. Like when they fought that monster in the beginning, he was like pulling out all the stops. That's another thing too, because it's been so long since we've seen him. When we first saw him in the first movie, he was becoming Doctor Strange, but he wasn't as strong as he is now. Like he's stronger, and some of the magic spells that he can do are impressive.
Yeah, let's talk about Scarlet Witch, man.
Let's do it.
Elizabeth Olsen really delivered in this one, man. Like she was going through it, bro. She's like the standout in this movie for me.
Absolutely. And you know what's so funny? Ever since, I always felt like, even in Infinity War, they've been priming her character to get a lot more character development. Like, I felt like with the things that happened in that movie, in those two movies, you got to see more of her. Of course, WandaVision is where we really got to see her be the character, but this is pretty much that. It's a continuation of that. And she's so great as Scarlet Witch, man. She really displays that pain. As much as you know what she's doing is wrong, like, you really feel for her because she's lost everything.
She's definitely progressed too as far as her abilities. She's a lot more powerful than she was in the previous films and, you know, the WandaVision series. I thought it was kind of cool how she utilized her abilities too. Honestly, I could have seen a little bit more as far as like the versatility. Overall, I still thought it was pretty good. Like, you really got to see how much of an unstoppable force she can be, man, when she's like not holding back. When you really think about her arc from the beginning, I mean, she lost her brother like in the second Avengers movie. Yeah. She had Vision, she lost him. I mean, she had to kill him herself basically to stop Thanos from getting the Infinity Stone. She created these children, she lost them. Then on top of all that, it's like, because of your actions, of course, the Avengers ain't gonna really be in support of you. She ain't got nobody, bro.
I was about to say, I'm sure she feels very isolated.
Yeah.
You know, and then, she don't even have that team dynamic no more.
You know, even when we first see her, when she first appears in this movie, she out there chilling, I was like, oh, well, someone seemed to be doing so bad. And then, you know, they unveiled the little world she was in. I was like, yeah, this makes way more sense.
I literally said, I was like, yo, she out here growing apples. Good for you. I said, you know what? That makes sense. Everything was dead and red, and I said, yep, that makes way more sense.
Fucking trailers, bro. I wish they stopped revealing so much in these trailers.
I couldn't even escape it. I had found out about that Illuminati thing before I even went to the movie. They showed it in the trailer you couldn't skip.
Bro, you know how dope that would have been to like be surprised? But I mean, it was still some surprises in there, but it would have been much more enjoyable had we not known anything about that scene at all.
Let's talk about that first.
Let's, because that was the biggest part of the movie for me.
Yeah, so much in that scene.
Man,
so much.
Man.
And they will casually do it too.
I know, right?
Like it ain't nothing. I was like, bro, do you know what this means? Oh my God.
Let's talk about the Strange going up before the Illuminati, man. There was one character I was surprised wasn't in that scene. I mean,
Namor?
Yeah.
I thought they was gonna put him in there.
I thought so too. I've been hearing speculation about him appearing in the MCU for a long time. Yeah. You know, I thought Black Panther was going to be in there somewhere for some reason.
Me too. Well, because he was originally supposed to be in the Illuminati. He decided not to join, but I thought so too. Some part of me thought so too.
And I didn't know how they was going to do it. I didn't know if it was going to be like Shuri or another version of Black Panther in there. But
Same. That would have been a good moment to maybe introduce a new T'Challa if that's the route that they were going to do. It was characters in there that I thought shouldn't have been. Like, I guess that version of Captain Marvel. That was kind of random and out of place. And then I guess the Peggy Carter one, because I mean, they're not going to utilize that again. I don't think.
I was surprised to see her. I had no idea she was going to be in there.
Yeah, same.
But it was cool.
It was.
Of course, you had Mr. Fantastic in there, who the fans have been rallying for John Krasinski to play him for like years. And I was so blown away that they actually cast him.
Oh, they really did it.
And I don't know if he's going to be Mr. Fantastic in the Fantastic Four reboot or not, or this is just an alternate version of him. I don't know. Whatever the case, it was cool to see him, and he looked good in the suit.
He did. I would think that they would, because fans been rallying for it. I think he even wanted to play it. I think he mentioned that. And then, I mean, it's like, why put that in the movie if, you know,
that would be a waste.
Given all of the energy behind it, it just wouldn't even make sense. I think so. And that made me think, because I know that they mentioned possibly Emily Blunt playing Susan Storm. So I really hope that that's what we see. I love both of them. So to see them
that'd be dope.
Would be great. That was the biggest moment for me.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really know what the Patrick Stewart as Professor X meant, because I don't want to see him play Professor X again. As much as I love Patrick Stewart now, as much as I love those original X-Men movies, and as much as Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart were great as the roles, they were not cast properly. Magneto and Professor X are not that old. Like, they are younger men, especially Magneto. He's like a cock diesel ass dude. So they need to get, to me, especially now, well, Ian McKellen, I think he's passing along. He's no longer with us. Patrick Stewart is way too old now to play Professor X. They need to get like a 40-year-old man or something like that to play him, and they need to recast Magneto. So it was cool to see for the fan service, but I hope that that's all that it serves. I don't want to see him play Professor X in the reboot.
I mean, I really like Michael Fassbender as Magneto personally.
I thought he was awesome casting. I wish they would have dyed his hair. That's the only thing. But him as Magneto was awesome.
Like him and John McAvoy can continue to play them, but I
would not mind at all. If they recast them two, I think that would be awesome. I did like that they had the classic from the 90s cartoon
bro. I was like, what? That was such a pleasant surprise. I've been waiting for that chair for 20 years.
Now the chair they need to put in the new one. Leave Patrick Stewart, we love him in Legend, but put that chair in the new one and just put a new person in it.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. He even had the tie.
Yeah, right.
He even had the suit on. I was like, oh, this is crazy.
Man, that moment was so incredible.
Yeah, that was, for people that have been watching these movies since the beginning, that was big, because this is the first time we've seen these movies since they're back under the same umbrella. I mean, you know, these characters from, you know, different movie studios under one roof. Like, I mean, you had X-Men and Fantastic Four, they had been with Fox forever. Even just having Spider-Man in here, like, you know, well, not in this movie, of course, but like in the MCU after being with Sony for so long. Yeah. It's just crazy, man. We living in a different era, man. Yeah. It was cool to see Black Bolt in there too. Like, I know you probably ain't watched Inhumans. No. I heard it was a horrible show. I did hear I heard it was horrible. I did. But getting to see Black Bolt even in his like OG suit was dope. Yeah. I even liked the new colorway for the new Captain Marvel. I thought that was kind of dope. It fit her character. Yeah. I thought that was interesting. Because you know in WandaVision where her daughter. Yeah. So I thought it was maybe going to allude to something like that. Because now it looks like she got some powers too. Yeah, I think we're going to see all of them in the Captain Marvel sequel. The Marvels or some shit. Yeah. Let's just kind of address something overall. You know this movie is very violent. I had no idea. Yo, this shit was more violent than the Morbius movie. By far. Absolutely. When the movie first started and they were battling that monster with the big eye, when he shot that harpoon thing in his eye and pulled his eye out, I was like, oh. I honestly thought that they were going to allude to what happened. They literally showed the thing going in his eye and him ripping the shit out. I was like, that shit made me squint a little. I was like, oh, wow. I said, okay. And that kind of sets the tone for the movie. I thought that was going to be a one-off. Yeah. Dude got impaled like that other Doctor Strange fell on some Mortal Kombat shit, like fell on a spike. Yeah. The scene we finna talk about with the way these heroes die. Oh my God. Black Bolt head sunk the fuck in. Who you think got it the worst out there? This is one of them situations where it could very well be. Reed Richards kind of got the lightest. He just got unraveled. Yeah, but that was his body though. I know. He was in pain. Black Bolt shit was quick. Yeah. But boy. Yeah, his was torturous. Yeah. I'll say that. He suffered the most, probably out of everybody, because it was slow. Yeah. Then she popped his brain. Yeah, that shit, I was like my hand went over my mouth. Right. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it either. Yeah. I went home and watched that scene like 4 times on YouTube, because it's on there. I don't even know why Captain America was there. Peggy Carter or Steve Captain Carter, yeah. Captain Carter, sit this one the fuck out. That shield ain't even gonna be worth a damn. Did you see what she did to Black Bolt's head? The jetpack and the shield combo ain't gonna save you, bro. You see Captain Marvel struggling. Sometimes as a hero, you just gotta know what is and isn't your fight. I'd be like, yo, if the OP characters are struggling, then me and my shield need to just go somewhere, get Professor X. I was so mad that nigga was not in there. I'm like, get your strong mental ass in there, man. I'm gonna tell you what, I felt like, I mean, I know Scarlet Witch is OP, but the way that Professor X and Captain Marvel went, I was like, God damn. I mean, I guess. The whole time I was thinking like, can Scarlet Witch can she beat Captain Marvel and Professor X? I have a hard time believing that. Especially Professor X with his cerebral powers. Like, I would have thought he would have lasted way longer in that little world he created. That didn't feel right. Yeah, I agree. If it's a mental battle, yeah. But, I mean, witchcraft tricky, man. Because Scarlet Witch got reality warping ability, bro. So, ain't really much you can do against that shit. Yeah. Like, I don't care what kind of physical capabilities you have. I mean, you saw what she did to Mr. Fantastic body. Like, if you could do some shit like that to somebody's body, bro. Like, fair. what chance do anybody see?
That's fair. I thought with everything that we saw, since they kind of delivered on all the speculation, I thought we was going to get like a House of M type situation where she might have created an alternate reality. I thought we were going to see that maybe after credits.
Yeah, I mean, we might. Like, it's stuff like that has been hinted at already, especially in here with her ultimately losing her kids for good. She might create a whole nother universe of some shit. Yeah. Like, who knows, man?
Yeah. Some of the things that we experienced with Doctor Strange, I think they always kind of utilize this psychedelic theme behind the movies. But the way that they, like I said, display his powers is always really cool. That scene that stood out to me when he fought with like them piano notes, when he fought himself, and that music, I thought that was real creative. Yeah. And that's the type of stuff I like to see in Doctor Strange, like this real fantastical, unusual type of stuff. I wish we would saw more of it, but I was very happy with the fight sequences overall in this movie. I thought they were really well done and kind of creative.
I like the little horror element in here too. The suspense that was built when she was like, when they were on the run from her and she was like sneaking through the reflections and all that. I thought that was very well done.
It's funny you say that. It's moments in this movie that are straight out of a horror film, especially at the end when she, Sam Raimi. And then at the end when they were kind of trying to trap her in the facility where they were in the Illuminati and she was running after them. It was like jump scares in there. And also that scene where Professor X created that world and he kind of went to that, she was under that debris. That was straight out of it. Like when Georgie saw it, Pennywise down in that sewer, it felt just like that. Even everything from the way they shot it to how she popped out, I was like, oh, this is just basically that. And this movie is like, I was really sitting there like, I don't know if this was for kids, bro. This is a very mature Marvel movie, probably the most that I've seen.
Yeah, and you know when I first heard talk about horror elements being featured in the film, I was like, how they gonna do that? But no, it was some traditional horror elements in there, and I was here for it.
I never knew that. They had speculated.
Yeah, people have been saying, Sam Raimi had came out and said it was gonna be like horror elements in there, but I was still thinking like, nah, this is a superhero movie. This is like a MCU movie, so I don't think they're gonna go there like that. But nah, man, this was one of the most violent MCU movies, and there was some horror elements on top of the action and regular superhero stuff. So I like the mixture of the genres like that.
Me too. And if you were gonna do it, I think this is the right film. Doctor Strange kind of eerie anyway, and then WandaVision, of course, I thought, and we talked about that even when we did the WandaVision review, but it's elements on that show that I thought were kind of like creepy and had thriller elements. So I felt like there were two characters that you could do it with. These were the proper characters. It was so much creepy shit going on. Even with that zombie thing, as cool as that ended up looking, I mean, it was like demons pulling him from hell. And this movie is like not for children.
Bro, he was using them bitches as a cape.
That shit was hard, though.
How you was wearing demons like fashion attire.
That shit was crazy. I'm like, oh, he dressed.
That shit was hard, though.
It was. What I will say, which is probably one of the things that for me was a minor, very minor point of negativity. I thought that they could have slow cooked Wanda being evil a little bit longer. If you saw WandaVision, then it's not that big of a leap because you remember what happened at the end of that show. You remember that show and you kind of felt like she was leading to be evil anyway. If you didn't see WandaVision, this gonna feel very off to you. Like it's a big piece missing. Even as somebody who saw WandaVision, I kind of felt like there's a spot missing from her going from that show to being completely evil. Like, you know, it felt like something was missing. And in the way that it was literally that in that same conversation, they didn't slow build it. They didn't like draw it out of nothing. It was like in that same moment, she revealed that she was evil. I was like, well, that was kind of quick. You know what I'm saying? It just felt like that was something that they could have built up a little bit, but given the circumstances and as strong as a character she is, it's not too much waiting around she was probably gonna do. So I guess it was in line, but from a viewer standpoint, I just felt like that could have been something they maybe took a little bit more time with. It felt a little rushed.
It didn't to me, because she never really felt evil to me. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
She wasn't doing, most of what she was doing wasn't just malicious for the sake of doing it. You know what I mean? So I never really felt she was evil per se. Nothing she was doing was technically justifiable. I could understand why I would definitely feel like it was a bit of a leap if you didn't watch any of WandaVision.
No, you're going to be lost.
By the end of that, everything she had went through, and her reading that book at the end.
I think evil is a leap. You're right. Like it was definitely questionable behavior for sure.
Yeah.
And I guess I didn't know she was that far gone.
Yeah. The fact that she was killing without any remorse, I can agree with.
Yeah. How far
she was killing like heroes.
Went from her character, because even after WandaVision, there was still some remorse and things like that on her behalf for what she had did to those people in that town. To go from that to this felt like a kind of a. It felt like there was a piece missing.
She was killing superheroes without like a second.
Yeah, she ain't give a fuck. The kids came back. We kind of speculated that would be a thing. I thought they'd have a bigger role than just being kids. I thought they.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're gonna grow up eventually, because I know they develop powers that because they had powers at the end of the WandaVision. They sure did. So yeah,
I thought they was gonna play an element in the movie, like from like a fight standpoint, because they do got powers, and I was curious to see if they were gonna revisit that.
Yeah, and they don't look like this version had this version.
No, it didn't. I honestly thought we were gonna see Vision in here, and I'm
surprised we didn't see Vision at all, because we got two Visions running around out here now. So the fact that we didn't see either of them, even in like a post-credit scene or a mid-credit scene, was surprising me.
If anything, I thought one of the post-credit scenes, especially seeing the ones we got, which we could talk about.
And that's two Visions just in our main world.
Right. They need to address where that white Vision went, nigga. I need to see him somewhere. Like they really should have said something here.
And this has been an ongoing thing. We talked about this before, man. Some of the CG in the MCU, that should be a little shoddy for me, man. Taking me out of it sometimes, especially with the budget, $200 million plus every movie. I don't know. Sometimes the shit just don't be looking good. It just don't. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Yes. I thought the CG in that movie looked great.
And I know they didn't have this type of budget.
Yeah, I bring that movie up because it had similar concepts in here, hopping between universes.
That movie actually looked incredible from a CGI standpoint. Yeah, it's weird to me when they can't capitalize on that in movies, like you said, with such grand scale budgets. And, this ain't their first rodeo. They've been doing this for a long time. So I know that they're on a schedule, and I know they be trying to get these movies out. Yeah. And because of that, because they're trying to get them out, and some of it do feel rushed. After credit is only one that matters.
Boy, they gonna troll, boy.
I hate these niggas. I hate him.
It was cool to see Bruce Campbell in it. He's a frequent collaborator.
Yeah, I know. Sam Raimi, of course.
Yeah, what was the first end credit scene again?
Who the fuck knows? At this point, I know what happened, but like I said, man, at this point, we're at a point now where these after credits where niggas just leap out of portals and come out.
Oh yeah, Charlize
Theron came out of something. I don't know who she's supposed to be.
Man, it looked like Dormammu was back there, like his world, but I couldn't tell.
Yeah,
it was colorful.
It was.
Or maybe they was in a quantum realm. I don't know where the fuck they was at.
Right. Yeah, they might pop up in Quantumania.
Yeah, they might.
Yeah, it was cool to see Charlize Theron, who I love to death. They're getting everyone in these movies. There won't be an actor in Hollywood that is not in the MCU before it's all said and done. Yeah. I didn't quite know who she was supposed to be.
Me neither.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll see when it gets.
We'll figure it out. Like, she came through a portal, she scooped them up, they going somewhere. We don't quite know where. Could be Dormammu, could be into the next movie. What they was doing. Could be to a show.
Come on, we got another movie to film.
Yeah, right.
I thought overall it was pretty cool. It was a pretty solid movie. It was cool to see some of the fan theories, and there was even some surprising elements thrown in there from other Marvel or MCU series that I wasn't expecting to see. That Illuminati thing was probably the standout. Well, not. It was most definitely the standout part of the movie. It was some things that I wish it would have been done better or more explored in detail. So I'm going to give Doctor Strange a 7.5.
You know what? I actually enjoyed this movie. Of course, it's not the best MCU movie you're going to see, but I thought that it was a solid effort. I definitely thought it was a solid sequel. And I realized that I really enjoyed Doctor Strange as a character. He's one of those characters that's kind of always been around for a while, but you don't think about too much. But I really enjoyed Benedict Cumberbatch playing him. I thought his chemistry with Rachel McAdams was actually really great. This movie was cool. It had some pacing issues a little bit in the beginning. It wasn't enough to make me be turned off for the movie. The thing the movie did the most of was probably introduce a lot of these elements for the future. That Illuminati scene was something. It was something to talk about, and I'm very intrigued about what this means moving forward. For this movie overall, I'm gonna give it an 8. I thought it was solid. I actually really enjoyed myself, and it's definitely worth checking out. I would tell you that if you got young children, then maybe, be caution. This movie is violent and it's pretty scary at parts too for kids. So did you think it was better than the first one?
No. The movie wasn't wasn't better than the first one to me.
I think that's fair.
I think some of the elements were better, but I thought as a standalone movie, I thought the first one was a more solid movie.
Yeah, having the Illuminati introduction thing in here is a cheat code, but that don't speak to the overall movie. That's just a part.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think the first one is better than this.
Thank y'all for tuning in to our review of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Hope y'all enjoyed it. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any suggested reviews you'd like to see us cover here, please drop a comment below.
Absolutely. And if you guys have seen Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, please let us know what you thought. How'd you feel about the reveal of the Illuminati? What do you think this means for the future of the MCU? Some of your favorite moments, some of your least favorite moments. We'd like to know that as well.
Definitely.
We appreciate y'all, man.
Thank y'all.
Peace.
Peace.